Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and continually teach us this truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect that's laboring in this word in truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this could be an edifying video. And it's not going to be a long video. Okay, I was just listening to the elder Yashawamba, which I'll still have to finish the video. But he said something in the beginning of his video. I forget word for word what he said, but, it just started having me think about, a few scriptures and how you got, these different, Israelite camps. Okay, you have key figures in their camps, going on these damn podcasts. The Lord didn't tell us to go on no fucking podcast, man. Okay? We're to teach this word and help seal the elect. Now, the scriptures say, for we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. So they're still bringing more good, more publicity. Okay? But at the end of the day, you going on these podcasts and these guys, they're just clowning you. They don't believe and they're seeking to humiliate you, okay, embarrass you for clicks and super chats and, cash apps. They're using you, man. Okay? And, we're here to teach this word, man, and things are about to, prophecies are playing out. Okay, it's a lot going on right now. So we're not in the time to be going on no fucking podcast, man. All right, so I want to start here. And like I said, this is going to be a quick video. Okay, I may just grab two scriptures. That's really all I got right now, unless, Spirit has something else come to mind. But this is Luke chapter 14. I'm going to start at verse, pretty much it's a parable Yahweh Shai speaking. Okay, and you had people making excuses. So I'm going to just go straight. I'm going to just go to 21. Okay, it says, so that servant came and shewed his lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the city and bring in hither the poor and the maimed and the halt and the blind. And the servant said, Lord, it is done as thou hast commanded, and yet there is room. And the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. For I say unto you that none of those men which were bidden shall taste of my supper. Okay, now, if you want to get the full context of, what's being said, just read up in this chapter. Okay, I'm on the clock, so I don't want to make it too long. But the point I wanted to grab was in verse 23. So we go out on the highways and hedges, and who are we compelling? We're seeking to compel the elect via this word. Okay? Because as Yahweh Shai said, my sheep hear me and they know my voice. Okay, and when we do these videos, when we go out on the highways and hedges and we're breaking down the scriptures, we're bringing the scriptures out, that's the voice of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. He speaks through his servants, the prophets. Okay, and we don't give a damn if you can't see that or if you don't believe that. That just means that you're most likely not of the elect. Okay, because this is not for the carnal minded. Yeah, we're just men, ain't nothing special about us other than the Lord has gave us this truth to teach, and Lord's we're of the elect. Okay, we work jobs, we grew up here in Babylon the Great. Okay, but if you're carnal minded, then that'll be a stumbling block unto you. All right, but reading on. Well, that's the point I wanted to get out of there. Okay, because wisdom is in the streets, not on these fucking podcasts, man. Okay, the Lord didn't call for podcast Israelites. Now, once again, it's still, I quoted the scripture. We can do nothing against the truth before the truth. But just teach the word, man. And a lot of times these guys be on these podcasts, they don't even bring out scriptures. They just be sitting there chilling, laughing, talking, debating. We're not here to debate, man. We got the truth. If you don't want to listen to the servants of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, all right, then, hey, keep going about your day. All right, this is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. And we're in the streets. That's where you're going to get this truth, man. You're going to get it by being in which actually, let me read this next verse. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying. So, reading this in the NLT, she calls to the crowds along the main street, to those gathered in the front of the city. So, this truth is being spoken in, the downtown areas, different, busy, areas, people getting food, people shopping, people, going out with they wife and kids. That's where brothers is posted up, bringing his word out. But then also the internet, as our apostles, say a lot, the internet has done the heavy lifting. Because you can be anywhere in the world and you can hear this truth. Okay, we've had a brother that was in South Africa somewhere come on a comment board one time. So this truth has went global via the internet. We don't have to make camps, going around the world, setting up camps. The Lord is sealing his elect through the word coming out. Okay? And, we're here to teach. We're not here to be on a fucking podcast, man. Verse 22, it says, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And you jakes, you are simple, man. And a lot of you just doing your own thing. It says, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Because you scoffers, you scorners, the Lord is about to judge you. And fools hate knowledge. You're going to realize, man, like it says in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. You're going to realize that we were trying, like I was listening to Elder Manatazak, he put up a video, New Year's Demon, something like that. And this drunk guy came up and the elder said, because the dude was a demon, man, the nigga that came up being a demon. And he was like, look at this nigga, he mad as hell. That's what his words was. He was speaking about the elder, and then the elder was like, I'm not mad. We're trying to help you. We're trying to, show you love. And that's exactly true. You're going to realize, you hated knowledge. You chose death, which ultimately you didn't choose it, because if the Lord wanted you, he would bring you in. Okay? So, all the scoffing and shit, it's about to come. And that proves that we're in the end, because the scriptures say in the last days there will be scoffers. But it's a lot going on right now, man. Iran just, pretty much gave the green light for their new operation. It's called Operation Iron Strike or something like that. And, we know they're talking about Iran, I looked at a few comments. They don't say Iran in an operation. Obviously, they're not going to do that. But at the same time, Iran is doing missile exercises right now. It's a lot going on, man. And we only in day 5 of 2026. So the Lord is, he's turning this thing into hypersonic gear mode. So we got to keep doing this work, man. Okay, we not here to be on the podcast chilling with these reprobates, chilling with Cooley and all these niggas. They done got exposed already. This is John chapter 9, verse 4. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. Right, so we're here to do this work, because the time is coming where we're not going to be able to do this work anymore. And we're fastly approaching that time. All right, the famine of the word is coming. So you got to get it while it's hot, man. Okay? So I'm going to just close it there. Like I said, it wasn't meant to be a long video, just something that hit me in the spirit. Lord willing, it was edifying. With that, I'm going to say shalom.